Welcome, everyone. This is Nichel Anderson. I'm your host during my summer break of 2021. Just checking in to kind of share my thoughts. This is going to be more of a open discussion that I like to sometimes do. Hope everybody having a happy summer. If it's summertime where you're at around the world. And thank you so much for joining me here at my podcast, Nichel Anderson Short Stories and Beyond, where I feature mostly short stories regarding my book, Mitsrayim, a memoir of a past life in ancient Egypt. And I do other short stories, and I haven't done it in a while, so I might touch on that today, of when you can expect those other short stories that I had wrote out. And then, of course, 2020 happened, and then getting into 2021 here. So next season, I will be starting my 5th season, number 5, of podcasting. If you're just now joining me and you want to know more about it, I definitely invite you to look at my previous episodes. Now I'm on Podbean. Before, when I started, I was on Spreaker. And I made that change to Podbean. So today is going to be really quick. It's my summer break. I take 3 months off, and then I return back for my season premiere, which is in September. So I'm looking forward to that. And today's discussion is basically, I had 2 ideas I was just going to kind of touch in today, of talk about what is my favorite episode for 2021 that I just ended, my season 4, and then kind of really talk about the power of short stories. And I think I'm going to focus mostly on that as we get into this podcast episode, my summer break episode. But right quick, just to kind of talk about my favorite episode. I got to say all of them, of course. But if I have to pick one, and I think I did this back in April, but I really didn't get to kind of highlight it in the title or so forth, or in the comments in that retrospect. But it's going to be the finale, and he discovers his enemies are abound. That's the one I noticed that I really, really liked. And definitely that one kind of honed on how deep the connection of the Orions to the people that live on Tamat, that we call Earth now. I have to say that kind of exposed the different layers of intrigue. That's the word I'm trying to say. But also the connection of family, of friends, how Henny is like a general compared to, Echo, and how their friendship, and he's trying to protect his family, and how he said, I'm going to do my director clip note of the episode, but that was one of my favorite, and how he spoke up and said to Inky, you could say it in that retrospect, that he didn't care about the danger of revealing who that person was to the others, and how when you care and you love your family and your friends, you will do anything to protect them. And that's that moment at the end, that's what you hear in the voice and the intensity, I should say, of Hani, of Orion to Inky. So I really like that. It takes courage to do that, and it takes not thinking always about yourself. I'm going to do this to get out of this situation. It takes courage to be able to stand up for something that you believe in, that is giving to someone else. All right, so let's get into this. So this is going to be quick. This is about the power of storytelling. Why did this come to me? I have no idea, in the sense that I guess it's summer, and usually here in the States, when it's summer, people go to the beach, and they always try to find the best book to read. So I wanted to kind of look at it in a different way, of the whole activity of enjoying something that brings you joyfulness in your heart and peace in your mind. And what is the power? What is the attraction of reading stories? And so that's what I came up with, this quick little title about the power of storytelling. And in my podcast, that's basically what I'm doing, is doing short stories. It's a theme about Egypt, one of the short stories that I have done. And I've done other ones, so you definitely go check that out. If you haven't followed me, please consider to do that. But anyway, so I came up with a few points, I think at least 5. So the first one, the power of storytelling is because it's uplifting. I can name several books that when I read it, it just gave me hope. It gave me the ability to think that I can do anything I set my mind to. The second thing, why the power of storytelling, it's so superior in a sense for humanity to engage in it. The second thing is that it's everlasting. If you think of a book when you were a child, you probably can remember the most important scenes that encourage you to move forward, encourage you to believe in something that you do not see, but yet it will manifest. So it's everlasting. You can be in your 100 years old and you can say, I remember that story, that book that I read. So that's another reason why it's the power of storytelling. And number 3, we connect to the characters. I think that's the most powerful, as well as number 1 and number 2. We connect to characters that gives us hope to grow, to learn. I believe the humanity experiment should not be destroyed. It should be hugged because it's a beautiful thing to evolve and not be in pain and restricted. So with that, I love it. All right. So characters, we identify with the character with our own lives or with someone else that we cared about or try to understand. And it gives another opportunity to know, because knowledge is power. And they always taught that in Egypt, in ancient Egypt, in Kemet, in Mitsrayim. All right. So number 4, the reason why I think the power of storytelling, it's so revealing in itself. Number 4 is that we learn about the power to choose, to do so in an alignment to where we at in the evolution of life, being human. That's powerful. And when we learn, not only that we grow and evolve, but we help others on the journey too, if they choose. So choice is so powerful. I think that's why a lot of segments or what have you, if I say it in that context, wants to control it because it's power. And the power of storytelling reinforces that because it's create new realities and new rules and new experiences, that is infinity. And it gives an opportunity to be able to choose which path of that affinity that we want to go on, because everybody has a choice and they should be honored to have that choice, right? If that's not the case, it kind of be dull because someone else is like a puppet master, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be an open platform to choose, and you have to be influential enough that that person would choose in the way that you hope and wish for whatever intent that might be, hopefully good. All right. So the last one I should say, and I'm just going to go there, is Jesus told a lot of stories to teach us the power of life, of living with others and with ourselves. It was the circle of life. So through the stories of the spiritual books that you read or heard of, if you don't read it, what have you, the main point is that he believed that telling stories will ingrain in us to learn the lesson so we will remember. And it goes to number 2. It would be everlasting of the mental peace that we seek. So hopefully, sometimes stories can be not feeding the soul, and you will feel that. We call it the spirit, but you'll feel it. It just don't feel right, or it's not giving you nothing. You're still hungry. And you have other stories that you read that have been written that is for the soul. It's everlasting. Everlasting to me is another way of saying life. Life is forward moving. So at any rate, that's my thoughts today. This June, during my summer break of podcasting of my show, Nichel Anderson Show Stories and Beyond, I released 1 episode during my summer break, so I'll release another one next month in July. I hope you join me in this journey of podcasting and my production of MOLIAE. Please visit MOLIAE.com and my new branch out into beauty for men and women, MOLIAEBeauty.com. Please sign up to my newsletter, and you can do that on MOLIAE.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful, safe summer, and be happy. That's what life is. I don't like to say life is short. I like to say life is enjoyable. And most of the time, aim for it, if not all the time. All right. Thank you so much. My name is Nichel. See you in the next one.